Good afternoon, everybody. It is, it's October 1st, and it's 3:30 in the afternoon here in Texas. Today it's hot. It's pretty hot. So, what I'm going to cover today is a story that Turtle Boy, Aiden Kearney, published 6 days ago. Now, this, I want to say, for one, I don't even know Aiden personally. It'd be nice if I could ever speak to him, but I don't know how to reach out to people, and I certainly don't know what to say. So, what I do have is he has um, a website, and it's tbdailynews.com. And if you go on there, there are tons and tons and tons of things to read in his research. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow or share his story that he wrote, because I'm amazed that no one else, I mean, mainstream media is not covering it. They're not trying to cover it. I mean, there's this light doesn't do good with this computer. So we'll see. Okay, I can't get my hair did right either in this. Let me see. All right. So the thing is, we know that the corruption runs so deep. Problem is, we just don't know how deep. And Aiden is trying his best to shine a light on that. And because he's doing this, he himself is being targeted. And that's really sad. So let's just get right to it, okay? So this is about rubber duckies. And I want to say that after reading this article, I have no doubt that these law enforcement people, I hate to even call them law enforcement because they're such an embarrassment to the badge. I mean, do they not realize what an embarrassment to the badge they are? Um, there's a lot of good cops, a lot of good state troopers through all of the United States. But it appears that in the state of Massachusetts, they're so far behind in the times, and corruption is so deep there. And because Turtle Boy found corruption and he called out corruption, he himself has a lot of charges against him by the same people that he's saying are corrupt. So let's just get on with it, okay? So this is where Sergeant Bukaki charges a woman with witness intimidation and littering for dropping miniature plastic duck on public bench outside Chris Albert's pizza shop. I just want to say that, we even had something going around, was it years ago, where they painted rocks and they set them out in places for people to find. And the rubber duckies are adorable. Anybody that sees them, they're going to pick them up. They're going to keep them. But we're going to make a big to-do about this because it's something that the Alberts were offended by. Now, I can understand why they were offended. And that's because everyone believes, or I'm going to say most everyone that has seen this trial heard the lack of evidence and it's a railroad to Karen Reed. But what it is these duckies, they seem to really bother um, the, the Canton police. I mean, my goodness, do they not look like they're just out for trouble. Look at those little ducks. I'm going to think that they've each had too much to drink and they're being held without any explanation. And they're waiting for someone to come and either rescue them or explain to them what they've done wrong. We have Duck A, who likes Michelob Ultra. We have Duck B that likes White Claw. Never heard of White Claw before now. And we have C, who just enjoys some Jameson. Okay, so now that we've cleared that up, let's see if that's anything. No, no. All right. So, sometime in April or May, someone began leaving little rubber duckies around Canton with the phrase like, Colin Albert did it, and free Karen Reed on them. And this greatly upset the McAlberts, who immediately called it witness intimidation. Mentally unbalanced women like Julie Ginito, Turtle Boy exposed on Twitter, a previous Karen Reed supporter who decided to take up the cause of cop killers after he said something that offended her, and began expressing their faux outrage about it on social media. So a lot of the people that are having fits about all this, they just don't like Aiden. They don't like Turtle Boy. And because they don't like Turtle Boy, Karen Reed is guilty. I mean, this is like going back to high school days, guys. It truly is. They're like high schoolers that never grew up. Listen to what goes on in camp. I will comment as I do read because I just can't help myself. So, and then here we have an excerpt from, is it Twitter? I don't know because I'm not sure. But someone posted Turtle Boy exposed at Turtle Boy fraud. I mean, give me a break, guys. Anyway, they posted Karen Reed's good friend is harassing a witness in her case again. Her friends keep littering CA's biz. That's Chris Albert's biz with ducks that say Colin did it, implying his son killed John. That is textbook witness intimidation. It's pressuring a witness to say what Karen wants to help her case. It's insane. No, what's insane is that you care more about who put the rubber duckies there than you do who actually killed Officer John O'Keefe. That's the insanity here. But just my opinion. So we have some, in a sane world, we would just point and laugh at people like this because they're so goofy and ridiculous. But in Norfolk County, the ramblings of the most insane people on the internet are often adopted by Mass State Police and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. Of course, all this did was make people want to drop more rubber duckies in the McAlbert's orbit. And as you can see, they're still being held captive. Poor little guys. Aren't they just so cute? I love rubber duckies. And I think most do. I mean, we've got all kinds of little rubber duckies here. And quite frankly, Turtle Boy is right. I live in Texas. I want to figure out how to order a bag of duckies, decorate them the way I would like, and find someone in the Canton area that would be so kind as to share them because they would be coming all the way from Texas with my opinion. And Texas says free Karen Reed. This Nana in Texas says free Karen Reed. So Look at there. Is that not an adorable duck? I mean, how could you not, right? How could you not find that just absolutely cute as could be? I'd pick it up and take it home. I really would. I would have me a whole collection of these little ducks. I would spend my day going to look for them, take photos of them, say where I found them, and then I would take them home and build a collection. That's what I would do because I think they're adorable. And Karen Reed, she needs a reason to smile, and they're so cute. Looky there. Oh, so adorable. Oh my goodness. And we have Free Karen Reed and we have Turtle Boy. So they are entwined. No matter how hard people want to separate it, it's not going to happen because Turtle Boy discovered lots and lots of corruption. And he did so because he was trying to just simply do a report on Karen Reed because of the allegation that she actually hit John O'Keefe. And as he started digging, he realized she did not hit John O'Keefe, and the corruption that's keeping it quiet is out of control. I love this one too. I like them all. Look at the little duckies. Oh my God, did they go in somebody's house and search? In time, the rubber duckies became almost a symbol of resistance, mocking authorities who sought to limit the free speech rights of citizens throughout history. This is what people living in authoritarian states have had to do to communicate resistance and code. We even saw that in the Hunger Games. True fact, we did. Sadly, this is the type of off look authoritarian state that Norfolk County, Mass. Has become, as men with guns are now attempting to put civilians in prison for dropping rubber duckies in public places. Authoritarian. I know how to say the word. It's just, why is it a tongue twister? I don't know. Today it is. Months ago, it was reported by Police Chief Helena Rafferty that an investigation into who was dropping rubber duckies around town had begun. It was rumored that Sergeant Detective Yuri Bukaki was spearheading this very serious investigation. So we did actually hear from Helena, did we not? I mean, we never hear from Helena. So I guess this is hearing from Helena. We know where she stands. So let's see. Karen Reed trial, Rubber Ducky Gate. But nothing ever came of it until now. All right, I'm going to play this. Let me get my headset on so I can hear it, because if I can't hear it, I can't comment, right? And I love to comment.
Duck, duck, goose, motherfucker! I don't even know how to tell this story because it's so fucking ridiculous. This right here is Chris Albert's pizza shop in Canton, Massachusetts. This Chris Albert, who was on Canton's select board. There was a man that thought it would be funny to play a prank on Chris Albert. So he got a bunch of rubber duckies, legit a toy, put Free Karen Reed on it, and stuck it on the ledge of D&E Pizza in Canton. Guess who Chris Albert called directly to investigate the rubber duckies? Yeah, you're seeing that right. Yuri Buka quack, 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 quack. Chris Albert called a Mass State Police officer to investigate rubber duckies. I wish I was making this shit up, but this is a real thing. And it goes more from there. Yuri used rubber gloves and tweezers because now all of a sudden he knows how to properly investigate a crime scene of rubber duckies. Yuri got 2 search warrants on this man that put out the rubber duckies. How the fuck? What? So let's break this down. He didn't call a Canton police officer. He called a Mass State police officer to investigate rubber ducky child toys. And then somehow Yuri was able to go through the system and get 2 search warrants for fucking rubber ducks. So then the guy said, fuck it, we're going to do it again. And this time they passed them out at CF McCarthy's or Waterfall, or probably both. It hasn't been confirmed. But they put McNuckles did it. And you guys should all know the reason why I can't say McNuckles' real name. And it has become the literal laughing stock of the town of Canton, to the
Honey,
point
it's a
where
laughing
even Rita
stock
Lombardi
further.
got involved. Because it's literally so ridiculous.
It
The
is.
McAlberts are more concerned over a prank versus the actual investigation of a murder. They care more about the quackery of it all versus the death of a fellow community member, a fellow officer. And I'm sure there's some of you who are thinking that rubber duckies means something else. Nope. Search warrants, pew-pews, the whole 9 yards. The Mass State Police put 100 times more real police work into investigating the rubber duckies than they did the murder of Boston Police Officer John
That's a
O'Keefe.
true
I
statement.
thought it was a joke. Nope, not a joke. And then down here, rubber gloves and tweezers were used by Yuri to pick up the duckies. What the duck?
All right, that was adorable, was it not? I mean, come on. I don't know who she is, but she's excellent. So that was great. And it's just truth. That's what's so, the sad thing is we could laugh about this in so many different ways, but it's disgusting. It's disgusting. You people in mass need Canton, Mass needs to be complete overhauled. I don't know what more needs to be said to get Police Chief Helena Rafferty out of there. I don't know what more needs to be said to get Governor Healy to put this town in receivership. It needs to be investigated so thoroughly, and none of the people that are there now have shown any integrity. That's right. I'm saying everybody that had anything to do with any of these officers is not going to be able to work there anymore because they need people who have not been subjected to the corruption and the here you go, guys, this is the way we do it. And everybody just looks the other way. That all needs they you need to clean house. I mean, come on, Helena is she's all concerned about rubber duck. She's all concerned about Kevin Albert because to her it's no big deal that he left his revolver in a car. He says he did not. He said that he took his beer. He bought beer not to drink as they were driving, but for another trip he would be taking soon. So obviously he's got to have his stash of beer, right? Well, Helena was concerned that that looked bad on him, so she's all over that. What was there, 5, 6 emails of Helena in that report? Just absolutely unreal. And now we've got rubber duckies just running rampant and being chased. The chief of police, you heard me, Governor Healy, your chief of police in Canton is much more concerned about the outcome of who placed the rubber ducks, where they placed the rubber ducks, who wrote on the rubber ducks. Did you find the rubber duck? Was it a fun friend? Was it a joke? What did you mean? Oh no, you're lying. You didn't mean that. That's what you people find important. And what I find important are corruption and murders. So, nothing ever came of it until now. This week, a mother of 2 young children was sent a summons to appear at Staunton District Court for a magistrate's hearing to face charges including 1 count of felony witness intimidation and 2 counts of misdemeanor littering. Now, let me just say, Governor Healy, if your town folks were being taken care of, first of all, no one would consider placing rubber duckies in places as littering. Second of all, it probably wouldn't even have happened because there's nothing to uncover, right? The reason that the rubber ducks have become so prevalent is because it started as a joke and it has now blown worldwide, basically. Everybody knows that Canton is terrified of rubber ducks. The McAlberts are terrified of rubber ducks, okay? They're terrified. All right, so let's just see if I can read this because it gets a little small. So give me 1 second. I'll get right back. All right, so what we have, let's see, date of offense 7/10/2024, and there's 3 offenses. One is witness, juror, police court official intimidation. Another is trash, litter, and another is trash, litter. Whew, man, this is a major issue, guys. Hold on to your hats. The parties to this complaint application, you're hereby notified that the above named complainant has filed an application for criminal complaint against the above named accused and has requested a hearing by a judicial officer of this court. Are you kidding me? The number of offense counts presented in this criminal complaint application are shown with the no counts box above. And the first four offense counts, I only see 3. Um, did I read that right? Let me try. Sometimes my eyes are okay. Yeah, I'm going to read it again. The number of offense counts, charges presented in this criminal complaint application are shown in the no counts box above, and the first 4 offense counts are listed above. If there are more than 4 offense counts, you may obtain the details of them from the clerk magistrate's office prior to the hearing. This notice is to inform you that a magistrate's hearing will be held at this court to determine whether criminal proceedings will be commenced against the above named accused in this matter. The hearing will be held on the date and time indicated above. Man, I wish I lived there because I would really like to go to that. I mean, seriously? I wonder if you can wear a rubber duck t-shirt into court. Rubber ducky, you're the one. Huh. Notice to accused. Oh, do you have some rights? Let's see. You may appear at this hearing to present your side of the case. You may bring witnesses with you, and you may also bring a lawyer, although it is not required that you be represented by counsel. Please bring this notice and report to the clerk magistrate's office upon your arrival at the court. So, this mother has to hire counsel because she left rubber duckies around. You know, there's a thing with Jeeps. I don't know if y'all have them up north, but here in Texas, for some reason, I don't even know if it's still going on. But if somebody really liked your Jeep, they would put a rubber ducky on it and say you've been ducked. And then that's why there was a whole line in some of the Jeeps that you would see in town with just all these rubber duckies. So I'm glad those people in Texas haven't been harassed over that because, whew, that's a lot of rubber duckies, guys. But, how pathetic that this person is gonna need to pay for an attorney. And the reason I say they're gonna need to pay for an attorney is because who in their right mind would step into any courtroom in the state of Mass, especially in this area, without a good attorney? And I mean a good attorney, because this is so above the norm. This makes no sense. So if they're going to explode it in this fashion, they need an attorney that can just tell them just how ridiculous they are and how within your rights you are. That's just insane. Intimidating someone is trying to get them to say something basically that's untrue to support something someone has said. It's not intimidation when you're asking the people that were in the house to say how John O'Keefe was killed, because common sense tells us that he was killed in the house. The courthouse address is listed above. If you fail to appear for your hearing at the date and time noted, the criminal complaint may issue against you on that date. Notice to complainant. If you have any witnesses you want to testify at the hearing, you must bring them to the hearing. Please bring this notice and report to the clerk magistrate's office upon your arrival at the court. If you fail to appear for the hearing at the date and time noticed, your application may be denied. September 5th, 2024. The incident occurred on July 10th. It began with an unrelated incident in which Chris Albert texted Sergeant Bukaki on his personal cell phone to report that a woman outside on a public street had made a gun motion to her head. The woman was also charged, told Bukaki that it wasn't a threatening gun motion, but the kind that Al Bundy jokingly made every time Peggy wanted to have sex. Yeah, like, duh. But, these people are officers. They investigate crimes. They know people. That you're not telling them anything because they're too inept to understand sarcasm unless it's their sarcasm. Instead of telling Chris Albert to follow the proper channels by contacting the Canton Police Department, or better yet, just tell him to stop being such a baby, Bukaki instead immediately deployed Trooper Sean Kelly and Trooper Zachary Clark, a witness list for the Commonwealth in the Karen Reed trial, to begin collecting surveillance video from the area. Oh, that's a good one. On Wednesday, July 10th, 2024, at approximately 10:47 a.m., Christopher Albert notified me of an incident that had just taken place outside the D&E pizza shop. Chris considered the event to be threatening in nature and felt compelled to report it to law enforcement. It should be noted that Chris is one of the Commonwealth's witnesses in a murder case and has been the victim of repeated attacks on social media platforms, as well as over the phone and in person at his pizza shop. Chris is the owner and operator of D&E Pizza, which is located at 618 Washington Street in Canton. Thank you for pointing that address out, because if I do find my way to Canton, I will be sure to not step inside the pizza place, but I may have to step outside of CF McCarthy's after a meal of food and have on a great big t-shirt with a rubber ducky on the front and the back. What would happen to me? I'm from Texas. Your town is not very friendly. Chris's identity, as well as his family members and relatives, has also been the subjects of targeted character attacks, as well as the release of their personal information, to include phone numbers, home and workplaces, by online bloggers, which is commonly known as doxing. However, when you're going to put yourself in the middle of a death investigation, I believe your information is public knowledge. Most places it is. And also, due to the fact that Chris is a select board member that killed someone over 20 years ago, um, a lot of people they don't sit well with that, because when you get drunk and you kill someone, you still committed murder. It's still murder. I'm sorry, but to me, it's murder. So, someone was alive, you did something that took them out of this world, and simply stated, I would just call it murder. But, they have a problem with that. Chris Albert, he doesn't like to be reminded that that happened. He doesn't like for other people to know that either. And if you ever really want to see what a true select board member looks like, Governor, why don't you just pull up Canton select board meetings? You are sitting there quietly while your town is being torn to smithereens by corrupt people. Governor Healy, you need to step up. All of the news anchors, all of the investigative reporters, where are you? I mean, Turtle Boy has done all the work. How about you get behind him? How about you let people know this is happening in the United States and it's not okay? How about it? Would you please? Okay, I'm sorry. That was just me ranting. But no, you're not doxxed when you put all your crap out there. Chris made an aforementioned notification over text message, the screenshot of which included with this report. The conversation included the following. See attached document for complete conversation. Chris, hey, so I just had two women outside my shop taking pictures, which is fine. I mean, what did he think they were going to post it on Facebook or something and say, come eat dinner here? No, Chris. Then one woman lifted her hand and made a gun motion to her head. I watched it and I have it on video. Bukaki, please email it to me. Do you know who these women are? Chris Albert says, no clue. I'll email to you. I advised both Trooper Kelly, Trooper Clark that I would need their assistance in the area of 618 Washington Street in Canton. Trooper Kelly assigned me with Trooper Kelly assigned me with collecting relevant surveillance video from the area to include footage from CF McCarthy's. Oh, I'm sorry. Trooper Kelly assisted me with collecting relevant surveillance video from the area to include footage from CF McCarthy's. And Trooper Clark assisted documenting the relevant evidence with digital photographs, something that was very lacking the morning Officer John O'Keefe was found dead in the front yard of another Boston police officer. That would resolve so many of these problems. But I guess y'all all forgot you carried cell phones and that they had cameras on it. I mean, how do you explain this shit away? How do you possibly explain your inept ability to investigate the murder of a fallen police officer? But you're very thorough when it comes to rubber duckies. It should be noted that the still video footage provided by Chris was queried through an automatic license plate reader. So it's okay for them to be able to find out who someone is because of their investigation. But when you're trying to point out corruption and you don't have access to that, it's not okay to ask someone to help you out. How else do people that are corrupt get found out? I mean, excuse me. And I'm sure that you had no problem giving the information to the McAlberts. So, with that said, it revealed the suspect vehicle in question to be a gray silver in color GMC Sierra bearing the mass registration. The suspect vehicle is captured arriving in the area in a close proximity to the incident taking place outside of D&E Pizza and also has matching dent damage on the driver's bedside of the pickup in the area of the gas cap door. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Did the duck lose a feather? We can only hope. We can only hope because you have to make sure that's the specific duck from that specific car. I'm not sure what the matching dent damage has to do with it, but okay, we pointed that out. Keep in mind, this is the same state police that didn't pull a single ring camera video from any homes or businesses in Canton after Karen Reed allegedly struck John O'Keefe with her car, despite the fact that it would have shown the conditions of her taillight as she allegedly fled the scene of a murder. Chris Albert's delicate sensibilities get a more thorough police response than a dead cop on Brian Albert's lawn. I don't think anyone can argue with that. Governor Healy, are you listening? This is ridiculous. Aw, look, poor guy. I'm so scared. Do you see this? This is what he does all the time. And his sons do too. And they think it's funny. I mean, they think this is funny. Their sons sit out there and they think it's funny. And they say things vile to people they don't like. And he is a select board member who participates in Zoom in a very dark room because they've now been called to question as to why aren't they on camera. So now they do roll call and they have to show themselves on video camera. And, you know, lurkers should stay in the dark shadows, shouldn't they? Shortly after that incident, Chris Albert contacted Bukaki again to tell him about a completely unrelated incident involving a completely different set of people. This time, he said there were two females and one male who left C.F. McCarthy's, dropped small rubber duckies on Washington Street, a public road. One of the ducks was dropped on the bench outside of D&E Pizza, which prompted the emergency call from Chicken Bomb Charlie. I love it. Chicken Bomb Charlie. For those of you that don't know, I once again ask you to to go in and check out Turtle Boy News because he's he puts Chicken Palm Charlie suits him good. Trooper Kelly immediately sprung back into action using the detective skills he learned in the academy to pull surveillance videos and carefully document and photograph the two rubber duckies as they were entered into evidence. They were shocked to see that these two rubber duckies had FKR written on them, which, according to Bukkake's report, has become a symbol of harassment. It's harassment and witness intimidation for people to say, free Karen Reed. Wow. It's harassment and intimidation. Oh my gosh. So, those of us that support Karen Reed and that have watched your farce of a trial, and we see your inept law enforcement, um, I mean, Cracker Jack boxes require more attention than they do. And they don't require much attention. So, that says a lot. I, I'm sorry, I'm just this is just so friggin' unbelievable. I can't believe in this world and this time with everything we have going on. I believe that I read the summary of Officer John O'Keefe's death reports. I think one might have been 3 pages, but they really didn't say anything. So, what's the difference? While Trooper Kelly and I were responding to the area of Washington Street, Chris contacted me over the phone and advised that there was yet another incident out front of the pizza shop. This time, Chris advised that a male and 2 females were walking away from C.F. McCarthy's while carrying to go plates and left numerous rubber ducks on Washington Street. One of the locations where the rubber duck was left was a bench in front of D&E Pizza. Chris once again confirmed that the incident was on video, which he provided and now is digitally attached to this report. It should be noted that the rubber duck littering instances have been taking place on Washington Street along with areas of Canton that are associated with the murder case witnesses' homes. Some of those rubber ducks have had stickers affixed to the bottom of them saying Colin did it. Colin Albert is a witness in the murder case as well and has no pending charges against him related to the O'Keefe murder. It should be noted that Colin Albert is Chris Albert's son. And why is he a witness in the murder? Because he was in the house and probably was in the house at the time of the murder. You see, we have to speculate because law enforcement chose not to investigate this. They chose not to investigate the death of Officer John O'Keefe as if it mattered. Upon our arrival at the scene, Trooper Kelly and I canvassed the neighboring businesses for video surveillance, to include C.F. McCarthy's restaurant. While at C.F. McCarthy's, we were able to identify the 3 individuals who visited the restaurant for lunch, arriving at approximately 11:42 a.m. and then approximately 12:40 p.m. when they left the restaurant walking towards D&E Pizza. The younger female out of the 3 individuals, who was later identified as da da da, is seen on D&E Pizza video depositing the rubber duck on the bench out front. Can you believe the gall? Rubber ducky, where are you? See the attached video. From both locations, Chris had removed the small yellow rubber duck from the bench out front of his business and brought it into the pizza shop awaiting our arrival. Oh, mercy, bless him. I bet that was so dangerous. Are you kidding me? Once at D&E Pizza, Trooper Clark documented the duck with digital photographs, so they do know how to use a camera. Which are attached to this report. The bottom of the duck had the letters FKR written on it with a black marker. Now, it should be noted that the letters FKR are commonly used to represent the Free Karen Reed movement, which is associated with the John O'Keefe murder trial. The free Karen Read content has been utilized to harass and intimidate the witnesses in the murder case. Additionally, the second duck, which Chris pointed out was located on a fence along the sidewalk on the even numbered side of Washington Street, just a couple of businesses down from Danny Pizza. The duck was also photographed and collected as evidence. Oh, my smithereens, guys, my smithereens. What I'm reading up here is it's in a report, but he's just taken it and shown us. Can you believe all the BS? I mean, Chris Albert is select board member and he's calling the troopers because of rubber duckies. I can envision, and I never watched it, but I've seen enough of them. And just the other day, I saw this in, I was in Home Depot, and they have Halloween stuff. I'm not a big Halloween person, but they have Halloween stuff, and one of them is Chucky. I could just, Chris, chicken parm, chicken parm. Do you hear me? Knock, knock. I could understand possibly being afraid of a duck that was decked out as Chucky that says, "I'm coming for you," because that could be for anybody, but I don't quite get it that little rubber duckies with little stamps and handwritten things on them requires the state trooper to investigate, requires you to scream intimidation. You are the rudest big mouth I have ever seen. How you have any pull in that town is beyond me. Rita Lombardi, Miss O'Donnell, they call y'all on the carpet. You can't stand it. You need to remove yourself from the select board. But more so, I want to know why the governor has not bothered to come down on y'all and put y'all in receivership. Your mouths need to be shut. Your power needs to be removed, and you need to be treated like you treat everyone else that's beneath you, sir. In your mind, beneath you. I don't agree that they're beneath you. I think they are much better people than you. But when you're sitting on your wannabe kingdom throne, I want you to remember one day people are going to be able to treat you the same way you have treated the common people and not the townies, not the well connected townies, because you are fixing to be not well connected. Somehow, some way, whether it's Josh Levy, whether it is Governor Healy. I mean, we don't know, do we? But we'll find out. We will. I haven't had time to make too many calls this week. Well, this week, today's only Tuesday. So hopefully I'll have more time because I'm very curious as to what and how. And this guy, he looks, I don't know, he's a dork and I wouldn't want him around my children. He looks fishy. He just he looks fishy. Oh. So, you got that? They've turned free Karen Read into something worse than they oh, they really have, but it's taken more seriously and will get more police resources dedicated to it than a statement, "There's a bomb on the plane," or a statement, "I'm gonna shoot up the school." I believe that. It's true. It got fast reaction, didn't it? Keep in mind that almost nothing in the Karen Reed case, including the crime scene and Karen Reed's vehicle at her parents' house in Dighton, was photographed and entered into evidence. They also used red Solo cups and stop and shop bags for blood samples. Once again, an investigation into Rubber Duck was treated more seriously than a dead police officer on Brian Albert's front lawn. We all know this is true. Trooper Jonathan Gendron was added to the case. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They had to add more people. It gets deeper, y'all. It gets deeper. Hold up, hold up. Oh, this is getting so hot and heavy. Can you believe it? While collecting the surveillance video from CF McCarthy's, I also requested that the business provide the transaction receipt associated with the table where the party of three sat for lunch. The receipt is attached to this report and indicates a credit card transaction which was paid for by a card belonging to so and so. Chris further provided a photo he took of the vehicle, which was used to leave the area by the two older individuals. That vehicle was a dark blue in color SUV bearing the registration. A query of the license plate revealed the license is registered to so and so. Once again, the crooked cops can find out who you are, but if you're investigating crooked cops and if you're trying to see if possibly someone else is at their home that is swearing that they don't know them, don't talk to them, and you have no choice but to try to find someone to search out that car tag. Or I guess you could just follow them, be there and follow them. But these officers are using their methods in a much worse way. Because you see, all Turtle Boy wanted to do when he inquired into the license plates that were at Proctor's house is to prove that someone is, I'm sorry, it was just to prove someone was lying. How, and she was in so many lies, but nobody will help them. Nobody is helping show the corruption. But what they're doing is just this will be in the history books, Governor Healy. It truly will be because this is absolutely mind-boggling that this can even happen. But we're going to get good here. At approximately at 2:55 p.m. Trooper Gendron and I traveled to blank to speak with blank and get her account of the events and the purpose behind their actions of littering the rubber ducks on Washington Street in Canton. Oh my God, they have video and audio now? Holy shit, that would have come in handy when Officer John O'Keefe was dead on their lawn. But they didn't think to use that then. I'm assuming that they had to put up any cameras or any type of equipment. They probably had to lock those in their lockers because after all, being in the state of Massachusetts, their phones probably couldn't be left in the cold for very long, whether it was in their pocket or not. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, guys. I get it. You just couldn't chance it, right? Somebody give me a break. The following is a summary of what's stated and shared with us during this conversation. Somebody there opened the door, and the first thing she said was, "What took you so long?" This was prior to us introducing ourselves and advising her that she was being audio and video recorded. Once agreed to speak with us, she asked what this was all about. To which I began explaining that it had to do with her visit to Canton, at which time she interrupted me, stating, I know. So and so asked if she could explain what happened, which I obliged. So and so told us that she and her husband, retired Boston firefighter, went to lunch at C.F. McCarthy's, which is where their daughter also met the two of them. Her and her daughter collected small ducks in the ladies' room of the restaurant, and they proceeded to deposit the found ducks on Washington Street. At this point, so and so came to the door and asked what this was all about. Having been told it's an investigation we're conducting, requested to just share her version of events so that it doesn't turn into something bigger than it was. Well, see, there goes my theory of when we were hiding rocks around and people would find them and put them on Facebook. I mean, it's kind of a joke. So and so went on to share that the owner of the pizza shop presented himself from inside, confronting the group, stating something along the lines of, how mature. So and so once again confirmed that she obtained the ducks from inside the bathroom at CF McCarthy's. Do y'all think they have surveillance cameras in there so we can see exactly who put the ducks in the bathroom? Oh my heavens. You know they'll be looking for that footage. And the creepos, if they found out they had surveillance videos in bathrooms, can you imagine where some of the perverted law enforcement would be? They'd be asking for that recording all the time. I asked so and so if she herself placed the ducks into a container, to which she stated that the ducks were probably inside her daughter's pocketbook. I advised that the ducks are pulled out of a small bag by her daughter, and the event is on video. To which so and so stated, I don't know. Oh my gosh, you're confronting the person over the duck. Really? Bukake let the 70-year-old woman know. I'm almost this lady's age. If Bukake came up to me and threatened me, they would probably have to call in outside police to even talk to me. With what I witnessed at the Karen Reed trial, I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't think a single one of these law enforcement officers or state troopers should be allowed to talk to the people in Canton. They're just too corrupt. So there's that. Hold on. I'm going to say that again because Bukaki let the 70-year-old woman know that the state police were looking into charging her with littering and demanded to know what her intentions were for the ducky drop. He also referred to Chris Albert as a victim because a rubber ducky was dropped onto a public bench on a public sidewalk that he does not own. But I mean, come on, guys, it was in front of D&E Pizza. I mean, oh my gosh. I attempted to have so and so identify her daughter, at which time she stated that she wanted to know her rights, what her rights were, and that she didn't need to tell us anything right now, and requested Trooper Gidron's name as well as my business card, which she was provided with both. So and so stated that they did not mean any harm and that she was being honest while attempting to explain the harm that her actions caused and the threats, which were Bukaki continued to grill her about where they got the rubber duckies from because the charges become more severe depending on the origins of the duck. Wow. I wonder if anybody's gotten my box of rubber ducks any time lately and put them around anywhere. Oh, right. I haven't sent any, but I plan to. I really do. Oh, I attempted to have the identity of the daughter and then, which, oh, and threats. That one goes up there. I was just reading that. Okay, excuse me, guys. Let's start again. My apologies. I think that I'm going to end with this is almost an hour. So I'm probably going to end and then do a part two so that you don't have, I mean, this is unreal. So let's see. While attempting to explain the harm that her actions caused and the threats which were communicated just prior to their arrival in the area, she interjected with a question asking if I wanted to get her for littering. I advised that littering is a violation and would be on the table as one of the charges. I then asked her what her intent was behind leaving the ducks and how many her and her daughter left on Washington Street. To which she said they left 3 ducks altogether on Washington Street, with the 3rd duck being left in a plant. So and so asked me if I was serious about how seriously we were handling this investigation. In treating the situation, I would ask the same question. I explained how the victim in this matter had been threatened just prior to the walking by and leaving the ducks with messages on them. At which point asked if Mr. Albert was the victim, indicating she was well aware of who Chris Albert is and his connection to the location where the ducks were left. I hope that you are able to have documentation and proof of the threat that Chris Albert sustained prior to these rubber duckies. I mean, oh my God. So and so stated that she had made plans with her daughter to go to lunch at C.F. McCarthy's the week prior, since it's halfway point between the two residences. If I was 70 years old, I would not be explaining myself to this dumbass. Went on to say that they definitely meant no harm and that the whole thing was silly. She further stated that she is not blind and is aware what has been taking place at the courthouse during the trial. But she has never worn a pink shirt, referencing the color of her dress being like the duck. She stated that she sincerely apologizes to the owner and that she honestly hoped that the situation did not turn into anything. So and so mentioned that they are pretty clean people and that I could check her record and that they also mind their business. And she was also sorry it happened right after the threats incident. So and so once again stated that although it was a silly move, there was no harm intended by her actions. So and so asked how many of their party went to the restroom. Guys, during the trial, literally listening to Lowley and his questions, I kept saying to myself, I'm surprised he's not asking what color of underwear they had on that day or other jokes in that manner. So, how many people went to the restroom? Did they have Northern toilet paper? Was it Angel Soft or was it that coarse stuff that feels like paper towels? Do you remember? I hope you remember because that's going to be a major question. When asked follow up questions if she placed the duck in her daughter's purse, exclaimed that she didn't know how, she didn't know, and did not have to answer any of the questions. I'd have just said, I don't remember. Sweetie, you're 70. Use it. Make them think that you're just like, we don't have thought process after. 68 or something. I'm not sure. I haven't hit it yet, but play it, girl, play it. I explained to so and so the extent of some of the issues that have been felt by the witnesses in this case, to include some of the toll that's been felt by their family members. So and so stated that she knew and agreed with what I was saying. So and so came over to the door once again and stated that I had made my point and that the heat was getting into the home. I thanked her for her time and advised her that we would be in touch by either phone, letter, or in person. So and so once again extended her apologies and added that there really was no harm done, at which time so and so stated that I was right and there was no harm intended. So and so was made aware of there being a message written on the duck, at which time she asked what the message was. I did not reveal to her the actual lettering, but instead stated that since she had possession of the duck, she must have seen the message. So and so did not confirm the message, and we left the area without further interaction. Were you able to get her fingerprints off of the duck to make sure that was, in fact, the duck? Because if her fingerprints weren't on that specific duck, and since so many people have the ducks, it literally could have been a duck from anywhere, right? Just saying. After that, Bukaki tracked down the woman's daughter at her home, who lived 40 minutes away. She explained that she had seen the rubber duckies in the waterfall bathroom and thought it was funny that people were dropping them all over in Canton, which inspired her to order some rubber duckies and bring them with her the next time she came to Canton. I love it. I love it. That's so awesome. Utilizing an open source social media platform, investigators identified as one of so and so's daughters. It should be noted that now her married name is, and following several attempts to make contact with her at her residence located at so and so, I was able to finally speak to her. Oh my gosh. On July 18th of 2024. Can you imagine how excruciating that wait was? Oh, the ducks that were in peril during this and those that were still trying to hide, I bet. And of course, they have attached audio and video. They've done very thorough investigation of the rubber ducks. The following is a summary of our conversation following formal introductions. Confirmed that on July 10th, 2024, she had visited C.F. McCarthy's with her parents for lunch. I asked so and so to walk us through what took place that day, and she confirmed that she had spoken to her mother about the incident prior to our arrival. So and so was concerned about the potential charges that would be brought against them and the reason why she was being interviewed. I explained to so and so that we are still looking into the incident, but the charging decisions, y'all are in luck. They come from the district attorney's office, which by the way would be Morrissey, would it not? It'd be Morrissey and Lowley. So you can imagine, yeah, they're hot, they're bothered, and they want us to take it to court. Obviously, because they're having a meeting at the magistrates, right? The ridiculousness of this is almost too much. But the charging decisions come from the district attorney's office and the court system. I further explained that the incident, as it was reported to us, as well as some of the major circumstances that evolved around it, the evidence which we were in possession of, went on to ask so and so ducks, about where the ducks, which they had deposited, came from. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Where, oh, where did the ducks come from? Where, oh, where did the ducks come from? Where, oh, where can they be? So and so responded by telling me that her husband is from Canton and they are also members of the Blue Hills Country Club in Canton. On one occasion, the family was at the Waterfall Bar and Grill in Canton, and while in the ladies' room, stepped on a tiny little ducky with the letters FKR written on it. Stated that she thought it was funny and she showed it to her mother. According to so and so, the two laughed about it. Oh my God. Are y'all ready? She made it clear that she just thought it was cute and funny and wasn't affiliated with Turtle Boy, which clearly Bukaki was trying to insinuate she was. Bukaki grilled her about where she got the ducks from and when the purchase took place. Burning up in here. All right, folks. So there's a whole lot more to this, and I will be reading. I will pick up on number 12. I'm going to go ahead and take just a little slight break. And like I said, this is a long video. So um, I'm just going to break it up. It's just easier. And I'm burning up because my door is shut because the grandbabies are still out if I don't. So I've got to go get cool somewhere. I mean, I'm literally just maybe I need something cold to drink. So I will see y'all later. I hope you enjoyed this. If you don't want to listen to my statements throughout, I'm sure you can find someone that's going to talk about this with no statements, but I can't help it. I really can't. And I'm trying to be nice, but this is just I'm done with this. These people have to be so done with this bullshit. Absolutely done. So, thank you very much. And please, any of you that can get out there and make a difference, do so. I mean, come on, Governor Healy. Really? Do we need to mail the rubber duckies to all the courthouses and ask them if they just put them up just to say that, we do have the freedom to joke when so many horrible things have been going on? That's how some people cope, actually. I laugh and joke sometimes in the most inopportune moments when something horrible because that's how I digest it. It makes me nervous. I don't want to deal. But this, I have no words. I mean, this is just look at the waste of taxpayer dollars here. And I'm just curious how much overtime this costs because goodness knows. I mean, to do all of this investigating, I can't imagine. How many people did they have on the case? 4? They had 4 people on the case? It was him and he hired him and he got 2 other people and then he had to add a 3rd person. So yeah, 4 people? My gosh. This is unreal. The ducks are being investigated, but the murder of a Boston police officer? Hell, they just took that to court with, speculation, guessing, no honest proof, no proof whatsoever, just a bunch of conjecture. So I'm going to leave that with that. Thank you. I'll be back with part 2.